Welcome to Keep What You Earn, a show for entrepreneurs and business owners who want to scale and build enterprise value without making costly mistakes. I'm your host, Shannon Weinstein. I'm a CFO and CPA who left a career serving Fortune 50 companies in Wall Street to help business owners just like you make life-changing wealth with your business. These episodes are meant to be super tactical and actionable, but please remember, consult your own financial professional before you implement anything you learn in this podcast. Now, if you'd be interested in working with us to do so, check out the show notes for more information about our company, Keep What You Earn Co. All right, let's start the show. So the last phase of the Profitable Scaling Playbook model that we've developed is really about enterprise value. Now, enterprise value sounds sexy. It sounds cool. It sounds big. It sounds epic. But this is the boring shit. And I say boring shit because when you're building and you're trying to sustain profitability and build cash flow, that is more of a hustle. And I feel like you get that immediate feeling of gratification of like, we've accomplished this. There's something measurable to sustain. There's a number associated with this that we can measure. And I would say enterprise value is more abstract, which can be frustrating for a lot of people who are more metric based. Now, although enterprise value sounds like a numerical amount, I want to tell you what we mean by enterprise value in the context of this framework. So enterprise value fundamentally means that you are increasing the value of your business as an asset that can be sold or used, okay? And by that, I mean you're going to scale it or you're going to sell it. And by scaling, I mean, if we're peeling back the layers, scaling means you're turning it into a cash flowing machine for yourself or for your family to build wealth. So the ultimate goal of any business should be to build wealth either on the exit or as you're building, period. If the goal is not to make money, then you run a nonprofit and you are probably not here because this podcast is called Keep What You Earn. Hey there, are you on LinkedIn? I love connecting with listeners and other professionals and business owners on that platform. I gotta say, I'm really enjoying it. So if we're not already connected, make sure you send me a connection request after this episode. Here's the kicker when it comes to enterprise value. This is all about the game of risk mitigation, risk management. And that's the unsexy way of wording it. Because when you fundamentally build a profitable cash flowing business, then what you need to be considering is how do I hang on to that? You know, how do I then build this business sustainably where somebody else could come and take over and run this profitable cash flowing business for me? And that means, can I hire a general operations manager or integrator into my business? Can I get out of the day to day? Is how reliant is this business on me and my presence? Am I the only one who has the keys to the castle? Things like that. So you have to be mindful of the shift that will have to take place when you enter this phase and you feel like you've grown to the point where this is the constraint for you is building enterprise value. Number one, congratulations, because it means that you have built an operating, profitable, scalable, cash flowing, high customer value business. If you have not, then I would encourage you to go back through the other 4 steps and go through and figure out where your constraint actually is. But you always want to be building, no matter what stage you're in, you want to be building with the end in mind, which is why I wanted to share with you this entire framework and say, hey, if you are in that profit stage, still be thinking about enterprise value because it's never too soon to think about building with the end in mind. Okay. You don't have to create problems you don't have yet, but you should definitely be thinking about those. So, enterprise value fundamentally means you need to be focused on whether things are replicable, whether things are transferable, and if they're not reliant on you. So, it's a lot about data. Do you have the data? Do you have the metrics? Do you have the clarity of knowing, hey, who are your top like profitable offers, top profitable customers? How do you sell effectively? How do you maximize customer value? What is your LTV to CAC? What is your gross margin, your net margin, which is your core offer profit, operating profit? What are we expecting here? And are you generating positive cash flow and why? So answering those types of due diligence questions that maybe somebody would be asking you if they were looking to buy your business. These are things that you would want to know if you were buying a business. So they're going to ask it of you. And you need to be ready with really easy access to data that will support how you're building your business and why, and the decisions you're making on why you're allocating your resources a certain way. So the next level with enterprise value, and the thing I really want to focus on for this episode and our next episode, is going to be really, really honing in on how you reduce risk in your business that's associated with you, right? We call this Keyman risk. I've heard it phrased as Keyman risk before, but I call it over-reliance on the owner. And what this signifies is a problem where you cannot take a day off, a week off, a month off without the whole thing crumbling and burning. You are the only one who knows how to sell. You are the only one, you are the face of the brand. By the way, this is where any company that is built on a personal brand, this is where it dies. Okay? It has no enterprise value. If it is built on solely a personal brand, it means that if you step away from the business, it's over. So the only way to really build enterprise value is to get out of the scope of building it on the back of a personal brand. Now you can have a personal brand and a valuable business, but if you have a business that is sitting on that is built out of a personal brand, you in trouble. You in big trouble when it comes to trying to sell or scale the business. That is a fun way to spend your time. I'm going to be blunt. That's just a fun way to spend your time. Now, if you want to go beyond that and you want to grow, the biggest thing to factor in when you think about enterprise value is getting out of the day to day and building the systems and processes it takes to scale. And if you haven't thought about doing SOPs yet, this is where this comes into play. So, in the next episode, I really want to uncover for you the different ways that you can build enterprise value through the micro steps, right? And get that multiple that you want to, get that high value of a business and understand what goes into that and what you can be doing today to make sure you're maximizing that value. Okay, so if you've been listening to the show for a while, you know I love talking about profit and cash flow. But if you've mastered these things, the next level thing to be focused on is your customer value. If you have to constantly hustle to sell more and hit your revenue goals, it's important to think about how you can deliver more value, build retention, and maximize the lifetime profitability of every customer. When you invest in a power session, we're able to dive into your customer acquisition cost and determine some personalized strategies to decrease your costs and increase the lifetime value of your customers. Click the link in the show notes to learn more.